No more silence, no more sleeping. Everybody wake up.
All right, thank you so much. We are back and we are live and direct. So, in absence of a national anthem and BDF anthem, we salute the heroes of Biafra that have fought to this time and those that are still fighting, those that are behind bars, those that are in the battlefield, those that are in the homeland, those that are in diaspora, all of you that have sacrificed for Biafra in diverse ways. Chukwu Kikabia, I bless you all, strengthen you, and give you the power to be able to do more because we have just started. Yes. I salute everyone. Salute the BRGIAPM with its entire cabinet, de facto government in the homeland with the entire cabinet, the BDF, and every Biafran worldwide. And I welcome you all to this impromptu broadcast on X, or would I say emergency briefing on X. I salute you all. Okay, today is the first day that I am opening the Pandora box on the fear of the BDF new commands that were unveiled, how it became a threat and terrified Nigerian government that they resorted into a photoshopped ESN usurping BDF. Like I said, this is the first time since the unveiling of the BDF new command. Two new commands were unveiled in the BDF headquarters of the Biafran people. And I'm going to read the press briefing or the press memo on that very day. On the 31st, for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter X channels, you will see that the new commands of BDF are displayed on the screen. Yes, you can see that, yeah, Honorable, I think it's your network. I've sent the co-host like 3 times now, but it's not coming to the answer. Don't worry, just stay there and work on the co-host rule. Maybe it's your network, but as far as you can function, that's not a problem. Those that are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and X, and also on the big screen, you can see the 2 new commands of BDF that were unveiled on the 31st of May. It was unveiled on the 30th of May, but the memo was posted on the 31st of May. So I read the official statement. Official announcement. I'm reading from the handle of the BDF, Biafra Defense Forces Headquarters on X. From the office of the Biafra Defense Forces, BDF, 30th day of May 2026, to all Biafrans worldwide, global partners and friends of Biafra. Dear Biafrans at home and in diaspora, it is with great pride and strategic resolve that the Biafra Defense Forces, BDF, hereby announces the formal establishment and activation of 2 critical new units within the Biafra Defense community. The Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency, BDIA, the Biafra Special Operations Command, BDSOC. These 2 specialized units represent a significant enhancement of our defensive and operational capabilities. The Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency will focus on intelligence gathering, analysis, counterintelligence and strategic information operations to safeguard Biafran interests. The Biafra Special Operations Command will undertake high precision, specialized missions, rapid response operations, and advanced tactical engagement as required for the defense of our people and territory. Important command clarification. Both the Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency, BDIA, and the Biafra Special Operations Command, BDSOC, shall not operate under the direct command of the Commander General of the Biafra Defense Forces to avoid interference. They will maintain independent operational mandate while coordinating at the highest strategic levels of defense leadership. This deliberate structural arrangement strengthens checks and balances, enhances professionalism, and aligns with best practices in modern defense architecture for a sovereign Biafran state. We call on all Biafrans at home and abroad to rally behind these new formations with full support, discipline, patriotism. This is another milestone in our collective journey towards the full restoration of Biafra's sovereignty. Biafra is rising. The struggle continues. Victory is certain. Signed, Chairman Joint Chief of Staff for the Biafra Defense Council, BDC. Then you see two beautiful and alluring and captivating logos on the screen. These two commands that were unveiled on the 30th of May has become the beginning of wisdom, has become a threat, has become the biggest weapon against the Nigerian terrorist government. So when you see them start crying, this is where their cry started. It is from here that you all sat down and then you saw that they decided to start the destruction of ESN madness because they went back to verify and to see and understand what this new two command means to the Biafra Defense Forces, means to the Biafran people, means to the BDF, means to be RGIE, means to be RGIE. So, having known the significance of these two commands, Nigerian government thought of what should they do because for these people to have established Biafra Special Operations Command, Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency, and they have explained what these two commands will be doing. These two commands are to liaise and work directly with the international allies. Intelligence agency from other ends of the world that will be working hand in hand with the Biafra Defense Forces. And these intelligence agencies are special. They will not be commanded or controlled by the Chief of Defense Staff of the Federation or the country. So that if the Chief of Defense Staff is having meeting with Hope Lelusodema, if he's having meeting with Soludo, if he's having meeting with Ifeanyi Uba, if he's having meeting with Alex Oti, if he's having meeting with all these criminals that are working as politicians in our lands while they claim to be working as personnel of BDF, if they are now having meetings with those people and then collecting money and collecting pacts, having drinks, having party while you are fighting war against the same politicians, you're now having party with them. Those your influences will not be able to infiltrate or stop this Biafra Special Operations Command and the Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency. I want you all to understand that I'm opening this Pandora box today. Since the unveiling of these two special command of BDF, Nigerian government did not find it funny. A lot of people were consulted if they can come in and play a role to be the Ifejuna and the Okpabiasika, to be able to destroy the BDF that we know and to use up the opportunity to come inside and to create chaos and to do many havocs. There are some people that rejected the offer. But yet, there are some people that decided to make themselves willing to. Yes, they are there. We know them. And on a fateful day, I will mention their names. Yes, many of you were mandated to destroy or to play this card. This is a card that you people saw a few days ago. Yes, many people were called upon and say, come and play this card. Come and play this card of Nigeria, of coming to claim that you are ESN, but wearing BDF flag and carrying BDF flag and wearing BDF uniform. Many of them were called upon and said, who will play the devil's advocate? Who will play the dangerous card? Who will come and work it out? Who will come and recruit these men and bring them out and then align them and claim that they are BDF while using their utterances as ESN? Because it was a planned work. They were all mobilized. They were all set up. People took care of their mobilization, and I know them all. Oh my God. Both those that now exist and those that existed, they brought them from all walks of life. Let me say something. Some of you that thought that you had any issue with Mazi Simon Egba, then you saw opportunity to use up that opportunity to destroy what BDF are built. Because you had personal beef with Simon Ekpa before. So you saw opportunity to now utilize, because you were called upon, yes. You were called upon to play a role of creating a faction that will come to destabilize the focus of the BDF. Then you calculated the personal beef that you had with Simon Ekpa before he went to prison. And then when the opportunity came, you said, oh, it's just like somebody that was looking for banana. He said, hey, opportunity has come, let me grab the banana. Because you were out of the circle. Opportunity came, flinching before you. Then you saw it very useful to capture. I will mention your names when it is time, not now. Yes. And you people that were used, you know the person I'm talking about. And you know where you got all the encouragement and the madness to fall to this prey. Yes, you know. No, be we there here now. We they look you. You see, there was one thing my Simon used to say. He said, when you are in the midst of criminals, you behave like mumu. You pretend as if you don't know anything. Yes, until you get the information you want from them. Yes. And I want to appreciate some of you also that have played a very good role in the camp of Mama Mugu and the camp of Chioma and Bryson, and even in Rabofola Neka. Many of you are playing very good roles that are actually bringing them to an end. I salute all of you for playing your own role. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone. And I'm back to the microphone. I salute all of you. So, if you thought you had personal beef with Madison, or you had personal beef with my success, or with PMK, or even with PMS, then when you saw the opportunity of playing the card of Nigerian government, after you saw that BDF was unveiled, and then opportunity was given to you, the offer was given to you to come and play the shadow ESN madness, and you did not decide to play your shadow ESN madness out of BDF command. You decided to set them up and then do the distraction inside the BDF command. I laugh at all of you, honestly. So, Nigerian terrorist government sat down and saw the unveiling of the new BDF command. And then they were enraged. They got enraged. They thought of a solution. And the solution was to make sure they get what? The ESN Madness group that you saw. The ESN Madness group, you should have asked yourself the question, Madam Nikano have existed in prison since 2021. Why didn't you hear the ESN Madness group? Did you hear it? That they say Madam Nikano is unveiling BDF Madness group from that prison. Since 2021, you did not hear it. So some of you should be inquisitive to now go back to analyze something. Why is it that it was after the unveiling of the BDF2 commands on the 30th of May before you now started seeing this madness? The fear of the BDF new commands became a threat to Tinubu terrorist government, became a threat to Nigerian government, became a threat to everything Nigerian caliphate. Especially when our PM was making the announcement and then he went down to explain. He stressed it 2 times. He said, this new special command, he went on again to stress it and said, this new special command, both the Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency and the Biafra Special Operations Command, BDSOC, shall not operate under the direct command of the Commander General of the Biafra Defense Forces. They will maintain independent operational madness while coordinating at the highest strategic levels of defense leadership. This deliberate structural arrangement strengthens checks and balances. So when they heard that the two BDF command that has been unveiled will not be controlled by Nigerian influenced politicians, will not have anything to do with them. And they also get to understand that this is international connection. Because if you can remember very well, far back in September 2025, BRGIA unveiled a military, diplomatic, and business pact with the US government. The documents are there. And I wish to get it so that as I'm reading, I'll connect the dots for everybody to understand. Yes, this is the right time for me to connect the dots. Yes, let me get it so that everybody will see and understand what the pact was all about. So that when you hear of the newly unveiled command of the BDF, you will understand how it connects to the official talks with U.S. government and Biafra people that was unveiled in July 15, 2025. Okay, let me read the press briefing that was unveiled then. BRGIE in talks with U.S. government over deal makes offer public. The Biafra Republic government in exile, led currently by the acting Prime Minister then, Okechukwu Nkere, has discussed with the U.S. officials possible agreement between the BRGIE and U.S. government officials. BRGIE has had conversations with U.S. policymakers, offering both economic and defense deals in exchange. In exchange for political support, which are being considered. Let me see if I can display this on the screen while we are reading, so that everybody can see it as well. Okay, I think it's on the screen now. So for those of you that are watching, you can see this business and defense deal on the screen. I'm pulling it out from the FARA document files of the U.S. government. So everything we do, you can see it directly from the U.S. government website. If you want to verify, go there and check. You can see that this material is distributed by Modern Global Strategies Incorporated on behalf of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Additional information is available at the Department of Justice, Washington, D.C. So we are not people that are doing something and we are hiding. Please, if you're watching from Facebook and YouTube, you can see what I'm saying on the screen. I'm displaying it on the screen. You can go there, screenshot it, and post it out wherever you want. So, in exchange, BRGIE went into these talks with the U.S. government, offering both economic and defense deals in exchange for political support, which are being considered. Listen up. This was July 15 to 25. Now, according to BRGIE, Acting Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere, then we have been in discussions with several U.S. officials regarding agreement between BRGIE and the United States government. We have offered several items, which we will now make public, include but are not limited to the following. Number one, defense agreements between the United States government and Biafra, including allowing for the United States to have permanent military bases in Biafra, as well as access to seaport and to station U.S. troops. Number two, establish a close counter-terrorism collaboration between the United States and Biafra against Islamic terrorist groups in the region, as well as piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. Number three, enter into MOU agreement with the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency and allow for the CIA to operate freely in Biafra territory. Furthermore, invite the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, AFRICOM, to establish listening posts in Biafra for the purposes of signals intelligence. Can you see? Signals intelligence. So when you are now connecting the new command of BDF that is about Biafra Special Operations Command, Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency, these are the agencies that will be working with these U.S. government agencies that have just been enunciated here in this memo. Number four, establish economic agreement between the United States and Biafra, especially in the areas of critical minerals and oil and gas, which will include preferential treatment and concessions for U.S. companies. In exchange, the BRGIA would like the following from the U.S. government: politically support BRGIA and Biafra's work towards self-determination, including backing an eventual United Nations formal recognition or acceptance of BRGIA's self-referendum, in which 50,048,916 Biafrans voted yes to exit Nigeria and gain independence. There is prior precedence, with the U.S. supporting South Sudan's independence backed by UN referendum. Number two, the United States should recognize the Declaration of Restoration of Independence of the Biafran people as an independent nation, as ratified in December 2nd, 2024 in Lahti, Finland. Three, the U.S. should establish itself as a mediator between the Biafran government and the government of Nigeria to assist in recognitions between the separation of the two parties in roundtable discussions. Four, the U.S. government should pressure the government of Nigeria to release indigenous people of Biafra leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to allow him safe passage out of Nigeria. Furthermore, the U.S. government should pressure the government of Finland to release BRGI Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who has been subject to a politically motivated detention at the instigation of the Nigerian government. According to BRGIA, acting Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere, in light of President Trump and in administration's recent successful mediation between Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo, and the United States' likely recognition of the independence of Somaliland. I wanted to more publicly highlight BRGI's offer to the United States government. I have already been discussing a tentative deal with the U.S. officials and think that this is the time for U.S. government to move forward into agreement with BRGIA. BRGIA will be a pillar of stability and a country which will be the closest friend of the United States in West Africa and the Gulf of Guinea. When you listen to point number 4 that I stated here of what BRGIA wants from Nigeria back, you can see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa is our request. That is in point number 4. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa is our request for them to be released. I want to ask you, the people that you saw that went to Washington, D.C. 2 days ago, whether in the National Press Club in America, Bryson Okoma and the Avid Group, and Mike Arnold and the rest of them, with Mama Eriwa, World Igbo Congress, IPOB, Food or 3 Command or 9 Command or 20 Command. Please, did you hear any of them make a petition to the U.S. government that they should come and release Mazi Simon Ekpa? They should sanction Nigeria, sanction Finland to release Mazi Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? I'm asking a very simple question. Did you hear any of it? Because this is what got Mama Eriwa enraged in that very conference. Mama Eriwa got enraged because they got there, they were all talking about Nigeria, Nigeria, do this for Nigeria, do this for Nigeria, do that for Nigeria, do that for Nigeria. There was nothing for Mazi Simon Ekpa. There was nothing for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There was nothing for Biafra. That is what made Mama Eriwa enraged, and she took the mic to speak. I salute her courage. We are not against anybody doing press conference in America. Wherever you are doing it, whether you're doing it inside the toilet, or you're doing it in the market square, or you're doing it in the U.S. Congress floor, we appreciate you all. But what we want to hear is, what does the press conference carry? Does it center on the freedom of the indigenous people of Nigeria that have been slaughtered by the terrorists? Does it center on the balkanization of Nigeria as the only solution for everybody to be alive? Does it center on Biafra? These are the points you need to listen to. Anybody that is talking about one Nigeria, Nigeria should remain one, you're not talking to the freedom of the people, because Nigerian people have been slaughtered for many years. There is no amount of more elections in Nigeria that can change their life. Since 2010, for many of you that have been in Nigeria, had businesses, it became part and parcel of the system. You enjoy everything, and it was going and it is sweeting you. How many people have you seen being slaughtered before you? How many have you seen? They slaughter them, you enjoy, but you're still calling for Nigeria elections to continue so that more slaughter will come. So, June 2025, the congressional testimony that was submitted to the US Congress on human rights, repression, and aggression centered on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, and Biafra people and Christians slaughtered in Nigeria. Then July, when we still submitted the deal of requests that we are going into the pact with treaties with the US government, a proposal also carried a demand and petition against Nigeria, against Finland, to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. Those that say they are working to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa, please, we want to see one of your official statements to the US government. Whether the one that you do in a video conference or the one that you do official, we want to see it. We want to see when it was filed. We want to see the link to the FARA, the US Justice Department of America. We want to see it. So that we'll also go and read, because Biafra own at the show now, yeah, it's there on the screen. Everybody can watch on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. As we're talking, you can see it on the screen. And this document is available on the US Department of Justice. You can go and Google it, you will see it. It was launched into the system on July 15. Sorry, the document, this letter was drafted on July 15. Then you can see, I think it was into the system on, it said, received by NSD FARA Registration Unit on 7/21/2025. So that is 21st of July. On 21st of July was when it was instituted into the system. So that means before it was instituted into the system, it was vetted. You see, it was on the 15th, it was drafted and submitted. So it took from on the 15th to 21 for it to be vetted before it was accepted by the US Department of Justice and put into the system. BRGI is not fake. They're not doing Photoshop. They're not doing fraud like many of you are doing there. We do, we show, you see the evidence, you go to the US Department of Justice website, go and search it, you will see our files and documents there embedded. So those of you that are coming to do showy display on the media that you are the one fighting for Biafra, or you're the one fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Simon Ekpa release more than BRGI, you are enemies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and Biafra. Because every evidence seen in your hands is how to destroy this Nnamdi Kanu and the Simon Ekpa, and to destroy the Biafra pata pata. So when you listen to this document that I read, number 3 also said, US should establish itself as a mediator between Biafran government and the government of Nigeria to assist in negotiations. A few months ago, there was a press release by the BRGIA, which said US will be the only mediator between Biafra people and Nigeria. Any deal, let me go to that publication so that I get it right. Any deal without BRGIA will be null and void. Any deal without BRGIA and American government will be null and void. Okay, I found the publication. This was on May 4th, 2026. Biafra. Without BRGI and US government, any mediation with Nigeria, any Biafra settlement or negotiations will be null and void. So BRJAPN emphasize on this. This point number 3 on the press briefing that came out on the 4th of May 2026 to remind Nigeria, ciao, ciao, to remind Nigeria that this is how it should be and this is what will happen, so that if they think they can play ping pong on the heads or brains of our leaders that are inside prison, they should know that they are hitting a very hard rock and it's not going to be business as usual. So, when you come back to point number 2, point number 2 is now telling you about the declaration and recognition of the independence of the Biafran people. And we continue to stress this unequivocally. Toti, please hold the line, please. Comment.
Yeah, all right, sir. Thank you very much, Information Minister, for hosting us today. And while we wait for the Information Minister to come back, uh, let me use this opportunity to appreciate every one of us that have taken out our time to grace the space today. And I also want to appreciate all the cabinet members of the Biafran Republic government in exile. I want to appreciate the BDF, and I also want to appreciate our Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Obichukwu Nkere, and also you beautiful Biafrans and the supporters of Biafra, and also the supporters of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Yeah, we have a very beautiful topic up here today, and this topic is all about the tip of the iceberg. Because our information minister have taken it upon himself to come and open the eyes of Biafrans and also make some kind of clarification regarding the distraction, confusion, ignorance that have been flying all over the places. And as we all have seen, he have started unveiling some certain things that some Biafrans don't understand, and also unveiling how much the Biafran Republic government in exile have been able to achieve in Washington, D.C. Because at the end of the day, it's not about putting on your coat or your suit and walk straight to Washington, D.C., but how well, how informed, and how inclined are you politically, and how serious are you being taken in Washington, D.C., of which today we all can be able to testify, even those that keeps, ignoring the good work that the Biafran Republic government in exile is doing in Washington, D.C., and also Prime Minister, and also our lobbyists and our international lawyer in the person of Amandabri. At least the results are speaking for themselves, and those are one of the things the information minister have taken upon himself to, bring back to our memories, like to rephrase all these things back to our memories, of which I believe that so many of us have even forgotten about this, memo, this publication that is written regarding the collaboration when it comes to defense between the Biafran Republic government in exile, BDF, and the American government, and the negotiations that have been going on all this while between the Biafran Republic government in exile on behalf of the Biafran people and also on behalf of the Biafran defense forces. And that is why we have a topic like this up here today that says the BDF new command unveiled became a threat to the Nigerian government and also the ESM, madness of which we also a few days ago, those that would believe that, we are fighting the same battle together, coming up to, claim something that is so alien to the Biafran Republic government in exile and also alien to the Biafran Defense Forces. And I also want to appreciate our information minister for coming out today, to explain these things in details for we the Biafran people to really understand what is going on and also understand that whatever that is happening currently is the handwriting of the Nigerian government, because they have tried everything they could in their power. They have tried everything they could with their money. They have tried everything they could with their weapons and also their sophisticated policies all around the world. But at the end of the day, they keep failing because the Biafran Republic government in exile is just and honest, towards its duty or towards its fight for the Biafran uh, people. And programs like this doesn't come up always like that. It comes up occasionally, and the reason why this program is coming up is for we to pay attention closely to what our information minister in the person of Mazi Sonia Farawa, the Okokoden of our time, for us to pay good attention and also make sure we follow up in every details. Yeah, so are you back?
Yes, imagine again. No, conclude,
All right,
conclude,
you can
conclude,
pause.
conclude, conclude.
Yeah, so it's just for every one of us to follow all the details and everything that is going to be detailing to us regarding the progress and and the achievement that the Biafran Republic government in Nigeria have been able to achieve in Washington DC. And also this program should be for us to recommit in case of those of us that have been, some of us now, our legs are outside, our legs are in. Now is the time for us. This program is about, to bring those legs together and also march very strong and also continue to support the Biafran Republic government in exile and its activities. So I welcome every one of us once more as we continue to listen to our information minister. So thank you very much, information minister, for the privilege. You can have the mic now, sir.
Thank you, Machineke. Thank you for being there and for holding the line. I salute you. I appreciate everyone that have been hanging on. And as we continue, the 3 points that we just read before talked so much about American government should interfere to release our leaders that are inside prison. Then we come down to what did we present to the U.S. government, which goes in line with the newly unveiled command, because American government works with people that are serious and people that have a roadmap, while Nigerian government will continue to be crying. But in as much as they cry, they are very, very um, criminal in nature. This is one thing you need to look at Nigerian government. They are crooked. They can do anything that you did not think that they can do. Because why? The money for oil and gas is there. So they can use the oil and gas in your community to enter into a collateral with anybody without you knowing. And that will rape you off of your generations that are coming to be in the next 100 years. So when they sat down and saw that we unveiled the pact or deal that we've had with the US government in July 15, 2025, they did not take it serious. They ignored, they left it there. Because then they thought that as they have kidnapped my Simon and locked him up in Finland, that it is all gone. Because those splinter groups that were all recruited that came out, they were telling Nigerian government they should not worry that they have destroyed BRGI, that they are in to make sure Okenkere does not succeed in anything, it does not go to anywhere. So they gave Nigerian government the assurance that BRGI will not be able to achieve anything or to make any effort, so they should just go and relax because they are inside here to destroy. But little do you don't know that it is not business as usual. Nigerian government did not react or pee in their panties all the way from July 15, 2025. Uh-huh. They sat back and then saw that a congressional briefing came up in September 2025, same BRGI, where Biafrans were there with PM Okenkere to give live testimony and evidences against Nigeria. They did not go to give evidences in favor of Nigeria. No, they went to give evidences against Nigeria. But we are very ashamed that the people that were in the press club the other day, they were giving evidences to favor Nigeria so that Nigeria can still have collaboration and 2027 elections can still happen in Nigeria for Nigeria to still continue, which is a very failed tactics. And we are very disappointed in them. These are the same people that unveiled the Sokoto Declaration, which the Sokoto Declaration was talking about the unity of Nigeria and how 2027 election can still come to be. They still went to come to that press conference that day to still disgrace themselves again. And even somebody like Bryson that was shouting BRGI, BGC, he now derailed from BRGI to now Save Nigeria group, Save Nigeria mandate. They're talking of how America can continue to align with Nigerian government to make Nigeria a better place so that everybody in Nigeria can continue to live. You cannot pronounce Biafra again. When you are out, you are out. When the spirit of Satan enter you, you see it. When the spirit of Papa can enter you, there is nothing that can deliver you. You will be on the stage. You will be trying to bite your tongue and see how you can mimic somebody from what the person says so that you can bring in Biafra in your conversation. No, it is not allowed because you did not go with a government or a people that went to talk about Biafra. No, you went with a people that went to talk about the unity of Nigeria. So you must also do what? Speak unity of Nigeria. You people got Mama Erewa enraged and then she spark up. Hey, my subtle grandmother woke up from a small seat and got angry because I just they talk Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. But I don't talk Biafra. You people took my marijuana to an unwelcomed conference that did not relate to our own plight. Anyway, she tried because if not, she was scattered the table pass as it is so. Now, Nigerian government did not react or scatter the floor since that time. Can't reach now. They still maintain, even after we submitted the testimony in June, submitted this US BRGIE deal in July, appeared in US Congress for congressional briefing in September, still continued diplomatic engagement with the US congressmen and policymakers in America. They did not cry. Then, later came the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. More sanctions followed. Then that was when they started waking up. They woke up and then they started coming after the RGIE. And they started doing everything to see if they can destroy BRGIE from within. But they did not succeed. More Boko Haram terrorists and ISIS and ISWAP are collecting woto on daily basis. You see, Nigerian terrorist governments did not rush to come after BRGI. They were just going slow. First, they came to tackle us that we are the one coming up with the Christian genocide, that it is a propaganda. How many of you remember when the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria was calling President Trump a liar? That President Trump is a liar that is acting on falsehood, that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria, and that they don't want to be the second Sudan, and that the facts are not accurate. But he was asked, how many people were kidnapped, how many people were massacred. He does not have the accurate number, a minister of foreign affairs. It did not pain Nigeria to the point that they are supposed to have done something very drastic and barbaric against the Biafran people and their defense department or their defense ministry or their defense headquarters. Until now, Nigerian government undermining BRGIA have made them lose many things. Yes, because if BRGIA had released a talk deal, a pact, an allegiance of agreement with the U.S. government, a proposal given to the U.S. government since July of 2025, and you ignored them, you did not take them serious. And this pact was stating that they are to do what? To offer both economic and defense deals in exchange for political support being considered. And then the point has three agendas. Defense agreement between the US and Biafra, including allowing the US to have permanent military bases in Biafra, as well as access to seaports and to station US troops. To establish a close counter-terrorism collaboration between the US and Biafra against Islamic terrorist groups in the region, as well as piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. 3. Enter into MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency and allow for the CIA to operate freely in Biafra territory. Furthermore, invite the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency to establish listening posts in Biafra for the purpose of signals intelligence. 4. Establish economic agreement between the U.S. and Biafra, especially in areas of critical minerals and oil and gas, which will include preferential treatment and concessions for U.S. companies. Nigerian government did not see anything in this. They did not take it serious. Because this was July 2025, they ignored. Then, BRGI gave them 1 year ahead. Between July 2025 to 30th of May 2026, BRGI now unveiled Biafra Special Operations Command, Biafra Defense Intelligence Agency, which is to work in hand with the U.S. Central Command here, the intelligence command that was spotted and enumerated in the July 15, 2025 BRGIE talk with the U.S. government deal. Do you see the time range? Do you see how the thing is going? It is now on the 30th of May that BRGIE unveiled these two intelligence units, these special commands. So when Nigerian government saw these two special commands, they now wake up from their sleep and say, hey, what we saw from these people in July 15 and we ignored, we did not actually know what was coming. We did not take them seriously. Now we can understand that something needs to be done. And that if they don't do something, hey, everywhere go catch fire. So from this, from seeing the U.S. pact with a proposed pact with Biafra people in July 2025, undermining the BRGIE and the BDF since then, and then on 30th of May, they woke up now to see that this intelligence unit have been established. That means there are underground work ongoing to follow up the publication that BRGIE did in July 2025 Yes. There is a follow-up work, there is underground work that has been happening from 2025 July to May. There is a follow-up work that has been happening. So, if nothing was happening, how did they get to the point of establishing these two intelligence units, these two special command that is going to come to work in line with the deals and the talk with the US government that was unveiled in a memo on July 15, 2025? They all came together. That memo of July 2025 and the unveiling of these two commands of BDF is a shock wave, and it is putting Nigeria off balance. So I want all of you to know that Nigerian government did not need to go and sleep. That is why you saw the ESN madness. I want you all to ask yourself the question: why didn't they come to make such announcement before, since 2021 down to 2026, and say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one commanding ESN, and then you're standing inside the BDF command unit, and then you are using the BDF flag? Yeah. So the unveiling of these two special command of BDF on the 30th of May became a very big boil on the scrotum of Nigeria. They now understand that BRGI have not just come to talk and go, that when they finish talk, they go down and they are working. That they talk about this intelligence unit in the memo of the deal with the US government on July 15, 2025. And then in May 30th, 2026, you are seeing the intelligence unit unveiled that will now coordinate things with foreign allies. So with this information, Nigerian government said they must do something. Yes. But for them to do this thing and to achieve it, they have to look for those that will be willing to play the yellow card. They look for some of you that were willing tools. When they ask some people, are you ready to play the slave? Some people say no. They ask some of you, and then you say, yes, me, I am willing to play it. Because you have beef with Simon Ekpa before. So anything that you see that connects to BRGI, it is now time for you to go and destroy. You have beef with Okenkere before. So anything you see that belongs to BRGI, any template, it's opportunity for you to use up it and destroy. You have beef with Sonny. You have beef with Totti. You have beef with COS. You have beef with Minister Comfort. You have beef with Eunice and African Red. So now is opportunity for you to show Sonny and show Simon Ekpa and show Kenkere and show the entire BRGI that they did you shake before, and now is opportunity for them to use up the opportunity you see to also do your own. Doesn't matter if you're playing the card for Nigerian government, you are very okay. Yes, this is what happened. This is how some of you get to see that you slept and woke up, and then you see that Butuzo and Gentle and Angel Makeup were claiming to be ESN inside BDF command. The fear of the intelligence command and the Defense Special Operations Command of Biafra Defense Forces. The fear of these two agencies that were unveiled on the 30th of May because they know the implications. They know the secrecy. They know what it means. They see that we are driving very close. That before you unveil intelligence agency, special operations command, and you are stating its aims and objective and its functions, you are not even allowing it to go inside to play in line with the existing structures. You are putting it up in a separate pattern that nobody will be able to influence it, especially those working with Zoo Nigeria and Zoo politicians, those having meetings with Zoo politicians. You disalign it from them. Those that are having party and eating kwabi and eating red wine and palm wine and whiskey that they will bring from Europe. Then when una finish drink whiskey, una tell Biafra say they poison una. Chai! Alumero, una don't deceive Biafra too much. The special command and the intelligence agency has nothing to do with some of you. So the madness now started. So when people saw the opportunity, you people now decided to grab the opportunity. Those that were willing to play the card and to make it happen for you guys, they came up, yes. They said, yes, we are willing to play it. They call some of you and say, who are you are willing to play? This one come, this one come. This one say, no, I'm not willing to play such card. Oh. It will destroy BDM, to destroy every sacrifices that the BDM have made and the work that we have worked for since 2023. Some say, oh, we are ready. Send me, I am willing. It is time for me to pay back the wrong that BRJ did to me. You decide to play the card of Nigerian government. Yes. See how hard it sounds to say, but you have to understand. So it is the fear of the unveiling of the new command of BDF. It is that fear that came about the ESN madness that you saw. And they made use of useful idiots. You know, when uh, Honorable Elia said there are useful idiots in Biafra struggle. So they made use of the useful idiots who are ready to sabotage and destroy their own Biafra simply because it is not under their watch at that time, simply because they are not the one piloting the affairs, or because Sonny hurt them before, or Simon Ekpa hurt them before, or okay, Kere hurt them before, or thought he hurt them before. So when they see opportunity that is given to them by Nigerian government to destroy the entire process of BRGI for Biafra independence, they will walk in and usurp it. But you people have all failed. Yes, you have all failed woefully. And I want to say a very big thank you to Biafrans in two different ways. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very happy to have you people. That's one thing I want you to know. Yes. And Owazrike at this time will be saying, oh, I wish I had BRGIE in exile, headed by somebody like Okechukwu Kere during the time of Masop. That means when they threatened me to kill me, Okechukwu Kere wouldn't have given up anything because I am the one inside the prison in Nigeria. I am the one facing the travails and everything that is before me. But there is Okechukwu Nkere there and his team of cabinet that are not ready to back down in anything, which is making the force of Biafra to become very strong. The more Nigerian government unveils one card, an attempt to destroy BRGI, and BRGI becomes more resolute and consistent and strong, and resists every tactics and plan that is brought up from Nigeria, whether from the prison of Mazen Amdekano or anywhere or from Simon Ekpa. The more BRGI here under Okechukwu Nkere and his cabinet are resisting and destroying every attempt and every effort, the more the Biafran cause becomes very strong. Yes, it is normal for anybody that is inside prison with a gun pointed on his head to use paper and sign anything or endorse anything. Yes, because you are fearing for your life. You want to be free. Yes. And it is another thing for the people that are outside to brainstorm and to resist everything that is coming from you inside prison, acting under duress. It is the resistance of the people outside that determines how the cause continue to go. Yes. So I wrote something earlier today. For the past 1 week or two, they said Showore was inside a Kuje prison. And every day, Showore's Twitter account was tweeting something. It was tweeting something on a daily basis. That is to tell you that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu also has access to Twitter and Facebook and all the social medias. And he is seeing every good thing and every bad thing that everybody are doing for Biafra and against Biafra, and for Nigeria and against Nigeria. Do not be dismayed of what I'm saying. Do not think that Mazen American is not knowing or seeing anything I said. No, he knows what we are doing in Washington, D.C. Same thing with Mazen Simon Ekpa. They all know and they have the positive records. And they also see the people that come to give them the negative records. They check and balance. But they have to play the negative card from there. Because if they continue to play the positive card from there to align with us, they will never be considered for release. So at this point, allow them to play the negative card while we resist every negative card coming out from them to show our formidability and our way forward. So, like I said, Mazen Namdekano will be happy in his mind that there are people, that there is BRGIE that is standing Jikimba. No matter every stunt that Nigerian government is pulling, BRGI is resisting. Then Wazirike will be like, how I wish BRGI under Okenkere existed while I was in prison. That means when my sub started that time, when they now started rolling some people and turning them like a pendulum ball, no matter what happens, we would have still been conquerors in America. Because when America speaks, the entire world follows. That is the message that will be coming from our Sirike now. That he wish myself had government in exile that was led by somebody like Okechukwu Nkere with the resistance, the way it is going now. So we must continue. And Nigeria is feeling the heat. I told you people before, I said, since we started a diplomatic war in Washington, D.C. against Nigeria, Okechukwu Nkere, I have not seen him with Elias or Attorney Dabiri use piston to shoot gun in America. I have not seen them use piston to shoot anything anywhere. All I am seeing is what? Diplomatic warfare. I am seeing diplomacy, diplomatic weapon. That is what I am seeing. It is even becoming louder than when you are using machine to fight in the homeland. Because Nigerian government will also come with machine. But now you will be looking for who to go and kill and which house you want to go and start shooting and say this is where IPOB or BDF or BRJ officials are inside the homeland. You will not see. But you are collecting woto from America, the handwork of BRJ, diplomatic isolation internationally, credibility damage on Nigeria, international pressure on their military formations and their government and economy structure. Everything in Nigeria, we put it on upside down. Diplomatically, you don't need any bullets to happen. All you need is work, diplomacy. We need money from everybody. We cannot achieve anything without money. Money needs to be on the table to get all the helpful hands in the legal team, in the lobbying team to make it work. Do you remember what Ambassador Tibu Nash said when he was on a Voice of Biafra TV? He said, for a cause of your own, for the cause of Biafra independence, and an issue that is so strategic and diplomatic, he said, before you hardly can get the attention of U.S. policymakers or lawmakers to talk about Biafra, to give you the attention. He said, but with Elias and with the authority that we have, with his lobbying firm, as sophisticated as Elias is, and with the authority that we have, we are able to break through the U.S. policy circles. And we are able to put our cause on the table. And now people can speak boldly of Biafra and discuss about Biafra. So we need a sophisticated lobby as Elias and Attorney as Dabiri. But that will not happen with mere mouths. That needs to happen with money. So we need everybody to come on board. Bring all that you have. I want to bring something else to the screen for those of you that are watching so that you can also see. Yes, this is a publication from is our space. Those listening on screen, please. Sorry for the interruption. We are coming back. All right, you can see us on the screen again. You can see us on the screen again, and you can hear our voices coming out now. All right. Okay. So we want to read this. Want to put this publication on the screen for everybody to see this publication so that you will understand what is happening. Because the zoo is on a suicidal slide. Now, this is a publication from a Business Day newspaper. Business Day newspaper said U.S. seizes largest terror electronics intelligence since 9/11 in Nigeria operation. I know many of you have seen this publication, but maybe you did not understand the concept. You walk past it, but let me explain something. What this publication is actually telling you is that this publication was released on the 30th of June 2026 from the Business Day newspaper, but from the official handle of the U.S. command, maybe I think it was 2 days ago or yesterday. So, the United States recovered what it described as its largest scale of terrorist electronic intelligence since September 11, 2001 attacks during a recent counter-terrorism operation in Nigeria. According to Sebastian Hockard, the U.S. Senior Director for Counter-Terrorism, Coker said the volume of electronic equipment seized from terrorist camps was so extensive that an additional aircraft was needed to transport the materials out of Nigeria for analysis. Speaking during a recent podcast, Coker described the intelligence all as unprecedented in the post 9/11 era. Listen now, in quote, from that raid we brought home, we needed an extra plane to bring home all the electronic material that we captured in those camps, he said. And the haul was 3 times bigger than any enemy electronics haul since 9/11. So that means if American government have captured electronic intelligence machines that terrorists use, like the Al Qaeda, the ISIS, the ISWAP, the Boko Haram, all these terrorists, even the ones in Iran or even in Afghanistan. This is the biggest of it all. Where did they get it from? Nigeria recently. Recently. Since 9/11. 9/11 was when? When you heard of the massacre of 9/11. Since that 9/11, it is now that they say this is 3 times bigger than that kind since 9/11. According to him, intelligence experts are now analyzing the recovered devices to understand how the ISIS group communicates and coordinates its operations. Now, our experts are taking apart all of that information, looking how ISIS is communicating with each other, Coker said. Remember that the second in command of ISIS was picked out in Nigeria. And Nigerian government have harbored and hide these terrorists since 2001 to this very day. They take care of him, they hide him, they use him to coordinate. Donald Trump, the president of America, said a few days ago that they took out their first in command, the second in command, the third in command in Nigeria. These are terrible people that have caused the death of Christians. They took them out so that Christians can breathe. So they now have, it took them another flight to come and pack these electronic intelligence communication targets. Both the drones, so the tracking devices, so everything that these people have been using in Nigeria. Inside Nigeria, they have the communication unit that they use to track you people down. When you see that they determine who and how and where they have to go and do kidnapping, they have system that they are using, well coordinated. The government of Nigeria are fully aware that they kept them there and allowed them, they use them for the bad job. Because when it is politics time, they use them. Later, they will want to abandon them. He said that the operation also resulted in the death of 199 terrorists, describing it as the largest single enemy neutralization by US forces since the September 11 terrorist attacks. He said, I watched our operators kill 199 jihadis in one operation. He said, adding that he monitored the mission live from the White House situation room. You want to know whether we are winning? 3 weeks ago in Nigeria, I watched it live from the situation room. It was like being in a Tom Clancy movie, but it's better because it is real. Yes. So, Nigerian terrorist government are not so concerned about their terrorist network groups, which they had created and have built a technology and a system that they use to track and monitor you all. Remember that they started with NIN. The NIN, they have all your information. It was a terrorist sympathizer, a terrorist leader, Pantami, that was the one that was spearheading that very department. And you didn't wonder and ask yourself what was actually happening. So if Nigerian terrorist government keeps and hide all these terrorists for all these years, they are not concerned about that too. They are concerned about the um, Biafra Defense Forces Special Commands that were unveiled on the 30th of May. That is their problem because they see that with those commands are going to liaise with the international community to now bring their terrorist network down. And those commands are not going to be working with these people that are having party with them and drinking whiskey and eating kwabi with them, which they say they will finish drinking and then they will poison themselves. These commands are going to work especially with people that are not affiliated to them. A special agency, special intelligence unit. So having seen this, Nigerian government said, oh, we need to do something. Yes. We need to find a way of breaking them down. We need to find a way of staging something and putting things upside down. Because this intelligence unit that they have unveiled is going to be a very big problem. It's going to be a very big problem. So they had to do more. They had to find a way. They had to plan something. They have to do some check and balances to see how that can be able to work out for them. So the fear of the new BDF command that will unveil on the 30th of May is the beginning of wisdom to Nigerian government, and that is why they had to launch the ESN madness groups. Yes, they tried to launch the ESN madness group, but it has failed on arrival because the Biafra Defense Forces new intelligence, new special commands are already ahead of them. So they don't jam another rock. They don't do another mistake. So Nigerian government should try another thing because this one, it don't knock. Yes, this one, it don't knock. But I have a message for Nigerian government. You people harbor all the terrorists and the financiers, the sponsors. Imagine that you harbor the other terrorist financier that has been in Lagos, operating in Lagos for many years. Then it is American government that is coming to unveil them. Whenever American government asks you, Nigerian government, bring out the list, unveil these terrorist financiers and their sponsors, you refuse. Then when American government brings out one name, you will now accept and say, we accept. Chai! These are the kind of government you all are clapping for. But this same terrorist financier, you eat with them, you sleep with them, you dine with them, you party with them, you do business with them. The money that the international terrorists are sending into Nigeria, you change it through them to finance the terrorists inside. American government action say bring this finance out. You refuse. When American government now brings one name out, you say we accept. We accept, but why did they bring them out? It's not a shame. You're putting your terrorists to keep them for your political agenda. Now, you harbor all the terrorists. I want to also remind you something, Nigerian people. Those electronic devices that American government have taken, which they had to bring over 3 planes to come and pack the 3 plane, extra 3 plane, extra, from the ones that were carrying the troops. They have to call on extra aircraft to come and pack the electronic devices, intelligence electronic devices that you people, terrorists, are using. After they neutralized 199 of you at the spot, which happened to be the central unit of the communication unit. Now, American government have taken hold of those devices and they are taking them to carry out investigation. Analysis is ongoing. Hey, how I wish they finish the analysis, they bring out communication intel, where some of you in government are funneling money to this same terrorist network. You are all part of the administration that is ruling the country. You see, all those northern elite that are funding this terrorism, when that time don't reach, because all of their names are going to come out on that list. I salute all of you. As this came up as an emergency, this will not last too long. So I will leave the mic to those that want to say something or ask questions. You can throw in the questions while I will attend to them before we go over to something else, because we are moving around the clock. BFJ will come and give you food, and then we go and sit down and see how you are going to run through or run around the circle and see whether you make noise or whether you cry. So the mic is open to anyone that have a question to ask, contributions. I need questions. Tote, take the mic. I need questions. If you have a question, please come up, ask your question. Let us clarify what you need to know.
Yeah, thank you very much, Commission Minister. Privilege was more. Thank you also the analysis regarding the new command built recently also threat come to the Nigerian terror. I believe that every one of us present here in the space listening attentively to the information that the Commission Minister of the Biafran Republic to pass through this media spaces to every one of us, and I believe so many of us have been to connect the dots. The reason why this recent development of saying that the Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is the one now controlling the so-called defunct ESN Sokoto prison. But Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has been under the captive of the Nigerian terrorist government since 2021. And when he was, under the DSS extension, he was not controlling the ESN from there. When he was also sentenced to life imprisonment, he did not control the ESN from there. He doesn't even know how the so-called ESN was funded. You understand? But recently we now hear that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, their so-called supreme leader, is now the one commanding ESN from Sokoto prison, of which is very laughable to every sane and a reasonable man or woman out there. And from the information that our information minister have given us today, we've come to understand better where all these rhetorics are coming from, and we can be able to conclude within ourselves that yes, these rhetorics are coming from the Nigerian terrorist government. That is why you can never compare the government to an organization. And the Biafran people are very, very lucky to be able to have the Biafran Republic government in exile at this point in time, because that is why you cannot compare, as I said earlier, a government to an organization. And for some of you out there that have been, playing along with this Nigerian terrorist government and template, trying to come against your government, trying to come against the government that have been able to put so much effort in making sure that the plight of the Biafran people is being acknowledged in the United States of America. Today, some of these the places that have been claiming to be fighting for the freedom of the Biafran people all these years, and so many of them will come and say the people's mandate, the people's mandate. The people will decide where they will give their mandate, but they forgot that they forget that 2023, the legitimacy of this Biafra Republic government in exile, and how the mandate of the people was given to the Biafra Republic government in exile was the Helsinki Declaration that happened in Finland 2023, and that the Helsinki Declaration was what vetted the Biafra Republic government in exile charter, which is the blueprint of the Biafran people in pursuing the freedom of the Biafran people. And that document gave the Biafran Republic government in exile the relevance that every one of us is enjoying today in Washington, D.C., because that proved that, yes, that the Biafran Republic government in exile is operating under a democratic template where the people have given their support and their mandate to the government to go and speak for them. Now, if I ask all the splinter groups, what is the mandate of the people in that organization? What is the what is what is the how am I going to put this? What template are they using? If truly, as they claim that they are fighting for the freedom of the Biafran people, what template are they using? On whose mandate are they fighting for? Because it's not about you coming up all over the places shouting IPOB, shouting USBG, shouting PUP, shouting CRC. On whose mandate are you operating on? Did the Biafran people give you any mandate? Did the Biafran people give you their mandate that, okay, go and fight for us and get this freedom for us? No. The only government that the Biafran people have been able to give their mandate and it happened in 2023. So when it comes to geopolitics, because everything the Biafran Republic government in exile have been doing has always been according to the templates and also geopolitics of the international community and the international world. So it's not about you being too emotional. Whenever the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is being mentioned there, you start deviating from the actual fight. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have already done his part. He has already done his part, even though he said it before he was kidnapped. He said every one of us should do what? Activate our mental toughness. Because the will be so evil, it will be so challenging. And some of you still dragging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name into what we are doing as a free people today. We are not even helping the man. We are still creating more problems for him. And that is why, when he said, I will not disappoint you, but you'll be the one to disappoint me. So many of you did not understand what he meant. In my own understanding, I believe that his statement meant, if it happens that I become a captive, or maybe I'm no more, God forbid that I'm no more alive in this world, will you allow this liberation fight to die? So every one of you now that is clamoring on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is in detention, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu happens to be no more tomorrow, are you going to allow this freedom fight to die a natural death? That your leader is not available doesn't mean the freedom needs to end. That your leader is under captivity of the enemy doesn't mean you have to wait for the leader. Because the same thing the so-called IPOB, the defunct IPOB did, is the same thing some of you today are doing. Some of you that claim is the same thing some of you now are not doing. Those that claim that they are the original brig without office, they are now waiting for Nnamdi Kanu when he was kidnapped from Kenya and the extraordinary rendition to Nigeria. Maybe by today, nobody will be speaking about Biafra. Even some of you coming out ignorantly to challenge the status quo of the Biafra Republic government in Nigeria today will be nowhere to be found. And assuming that Mazi Ogechikunkiri took the same step that so many of you are taking today and say, okay, because of Mazi Simon Ekpa is now around, okay, let's wait for him to come out. Many of you talking about Biafra today will be nowhere to be found. So many of you that are claiming today to be the most, loved. Some of you that are claiming to love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so much, love Mazi Simon Ekpa so much. If Mazi Ogechikunkiri did not take that bold step to keep the fire burning, so many of you will be nowhere to be found today. That's just the simple truth. That is how human beings are being wired, most especially black people. They always fight the truth. They always fight the solution and support the destruction. And I really appreciate our information minister for coming out a day like this, to open our eyes to really understand the reason why whatever that is happening today, it's happening. It is the script of the Nigerian government that is playing today. And they have been able to buy some of our people to play this madness that they are playing today. Rage and Fury, do you have a question for the information minister? Because he said he needs questions.
Yeah, yes.
Sorry,
I can't actually raise my hand.
1 minute before you go. Please, if you have a question for the information minister, because the space will be coming down very soon. So please try and request for the mic now that it's very much available, so you can ask your question. And if you have anything to contribute as well, please request for the mic. given to you. So I'll read. You can go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you very much, my dear brother, comrade Totify, and greetings to you, Honorable Minister of Information, as well as every other great Biafran that is here present, our freedom lovers. Let me also take out this time to send my greetings to our current serving Prime Minister, His Excellency Ogechukwu Kere. Before I will ask my question, I would like to lay a little background. Greetings to all our women that are here present as well. I can cite my dear mother, sister, Auntie Eunice, as well as Mary Tekam, and others that will be here that I can't really see for now. So, like I said, before I will ask my question, I will lay a little background. Some time ago, we heard some former BDF personnel coming out to issue a serious warning that they should not use the name of whenever they come online. But in a very short while, the news heard that great conflict that the personnel had fell, and actually the name fell with the bullet of the enemies probably within. And yet, the silence was maintained. After that, we also heard certain personnel who came up to say that the party they drink with Hopu Zodima and Nigeria politicians, the silence was maintained. Nothing was said. Not only that, we also saw some of the personnel who came out to say when they were ES community, and I was saying myself that you that is a Biafra defense personnel, why would you render security service to a Nigeria politician? So that mean that Nigeria politicians make use of you. I can just call you at any time they wish to, and they make use of you and dump you, and later they come and accuse you. There's nothing that the reasoning is not really that deep. Such individuals were not careful enough to know that such things should not be said in the public. But to my ultimate surprise, the silence was still maintained because even the citizens, some of the Biafrans who could see or sight this red light were restricted that this area is a no-go area. That leads to my question, Honorable Minister of Information, if you are still there. If red lights are sighted, does the Biafra government, Republic government in exile, that is speaking for the Biafra people, representing the Biafra people, are cited, does the government turn a blind eye simply because of where the red light are sighted? And are certain people above the law? Should silence be maintained over the red light of certain people because they are in certain offices, they are in certain positions? Because when you see evil and you keep quiet, the evil continues. So my question is, when red lights are cited in certain individuals due to their position or to their offices, does the government turn a blind eye and allow the evil to continue? Those are the things that should have been addressed immediately they happened. Thank you very much.
Information Minister yourself.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. When a red light are sighted, the government do not ignore it. That is where I will leave that question. Anything about defense, the defense council handle it. If there is an to make, they make the appropriate time. Yes. So if there is any red light, they give the red light when it is to be given. A lot of things have happened, and we don't jump into the media to say everything when it is happening because we must say it. No, we are not in a social media pattern of.